Hello, welcome to another video. So this is another limit problem, and like I always say, if you're allowed to use L'Hopital's rule, this might take you maybe about a minute. What do? The first thing you do every time you see a limit question that goes to a finite number, not infinity or negative infinity, is to plug in the number and see what happens. So if we plug in 1 here, we're going to have 2 minus 2 times 1 cubed. That's 2 minus 2, which gives us 0 on top. And under it's going to be 1 to the 4th, which is 1 minus 1, 0. So we have an indeterminate form, 0 over 0. So remember, when you have 0 over 0 indeterminate form and you can use L'Hopital's rule, then go ahead and use L'Hopital's rule. So now, if we use L'Hopital's rule, we're going to differentiate the top, differentiate the bottom, and then we're going to get our answer by taking the limit again. However, if you're not allowed to use L'Hopital's rule, then you have to do algebra. And it's the algebra that I'm really interested in. So let me just show you the L'Hopital's rule outcome so you know what we're expecting. So if we apply L'Hopital's rule, because of this situation, 0 over 0, we're going to have h. The L'Hopital's rule, that's the short form of it, will be the derivative of this. So we'll have the limit as x goes to 1. If you take the derivative of the top, it's going to be 0 minus 6x squared over, take the derivative of the bottom, it's going to be 4x cubed minus 0. So in this case, you're going to have the limit as x goes to 0 of, you're going to have 6, as x goes to 1 rather, of 6x squared over 4x cubed. Well, let's plug in 1. If you plug in 1 here, you're going to have 1. I don't want to spend time reducing this. We're going to reduce it later. If you plug in 1 here, you have 1 squared. That's 6 times 1. That's 6. So this is equal to 6 over 4. And the answer there is, oh no, it's negative. Come on, 0 minus 6x squared is negative 6x squared. Okay, so it's negative 6, and your answer is negative 3 over 2. So the limit of this expression is negative 3 halves. So now, let's find a way to do the algebra without L'Hopital's rule and get negative 3 over 2. So if you look at this very well, you want to ask yourself, what can I factor out from the top? I can factor out 2. Does it help me? Yes, because if I factor out 2, I'm going to be left with 1 minus x cubed, which gives me the difference of 2 cubes, which I know how to factor. If you look at the bottom, there's nothing to factor out. But if I can rewrite this as x to the, or even write this as 1 to the 4th, then it becomes the difference of 2/4, which becomes the, I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is the same thing as the limit as x goes to 1 of, if you factor out 2, you're going to have 1 minus x cubed. Now, we don't know the difference of 2/4, but we can rewrite it as the difference of 2 squares first. So we can write this as x squared squared, and we can write this as 1 squared. So we can write this expression here as x squared squared minus 1 squared. Do you see that? Now, we need to do this. You see this 2 can come to the back because it's a constant. So what if we rewrite this and say this is the same thing as 2 times the limit as x goes to 1 of 1 minus x cubed divided by x squared squared minus 1 squared. Okay, now let's go here. This is the same thing as 2 times the limit as x goes to 1. Now let's factor this. Now, I notice that many students remember difference of 2 squares, but they don't remember difference of 2 cubes. So let me remind you, if you have a cubed minus b cubed, when you factor this, it is always a minus b, exactly what you have here, multiplied by, reduce this by 1, reduce this also by 1, and put a plus before it, and then multiply a by b. It's also a plus. So there's always only one minus sign in this case, okay? Even if this was a plus, you gotta switch this to become a plus also and switch this to be a minus. This is always a plus, an easy way to remember, okay? And then, so this is difference of 2 cubes. And then for difference of 2 squares, it's gonna be a squared minus b squared, which is a minus b, a plus b. So at this point, we can go back here and apply it here. In this case, for the top part, we can write this as 1 cubed. Okay, so you have your a is 1 and your b is x. So we're going to have, using this formula, it's going to be a minus b, that's 1 minus x, multiplied by the square of the first one, which is going to be 1 squared, which is 1. Then the product of the two, 1 times x, is going to be plus x. And then you're going to have the square of the second one, which is going to be x squared. Okay, we're done. And then if you go to the bottom part, you're going to have the difference of 2 squared, which is going to be x squared minus 1 times x squared plus 1. We're almost done, because now we have 2 times the limit as x goes to 1 of 1 minus x times 1 plus x squared. But if you look down here, see, we need to get rid of something that's causing us to have 0 over 0, because if you plug in now at this point, you still get 0 over 0, okay? Because this is going to give us 0, and this is going to give us 0. But if we factor this, it becomes x minus 1, x plus 1. So we're going to end up with this expression. Here is difference of 2 squares again, just like this. We're going to have x minus 1 and x plus 1. Then we're going to have, where's the other one? X squared plus 1. Okay, we're at the end, because now we can get rid of this 1 minus x, because 1 minus x is the negative of x minus 1. Just, we switched it, okay? So if you watch other videos, you know that that's what you must look out for. So we can cancel this out, and we can cancel this out, but we're going to have negative 1 remaining here. So that our next line, let's get rid of this, is going to be 2 times the limit as x goes to 1 of, this is gone, we're going to have a negative, okay, well, let's keep that negative 1, of 1 plus x squared divided by x plus 1 times x squared plus 1. Okay. We're done, because now we can easily plug in 1 into this function. We're going to have 2 multiplied by, if you take the limit, which means you plug in 1, there's going to be 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's negative 3 divided by 1 plus 1, so that's 2, times, what's the other number? 1 squared is 1 plus 1, 2. Oh, did you see that? One of these two, this 2 will cancel one of these 2's, and what's left is negative 3 over 2, which is the same thing as what we got here. So if you can't use L'Hopital's rule, use algebra. Algebra always wins. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like this video and share it, and leave a comment in the comment section. Never stop learning, because those who stop learning have stopped living. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.